evening, 75 cadets. So I'm one of the second class Ferguson, and today I'll be helping you guys out with some do's and don'ts on how to iron uniform. A lot of people think that when you talk about ironing uniform, you iron your whole uniform. Essentially what you want to iron, you need to iron, is your blue shirt, so your ceremonial blue shirt, and your blue pants. These are a must, these are a need, you must have these ironed for when you get marked on Thursday night. On the other hand, you may iron your tunic. You must be careful because some people iron creases into the arms or in the belt area or something. You don't want creases in your tunic. If you do want to iron your tunic and you have wrinkles or creases from the belts or something, make sure you put a wet cloth or a wet towel under it so you do not create permanent creases because they're very tricky to get out from inside of your tunic. To start off with our blue shirt, as you can see, after just one Thursday night of wear, you can see that there are tons of wrinkles in the arms, there are tons of wrinkles on the back, and these are an easy 5-minute fix. So to start off, we're going to start off with the back of the shirt. We're going to use this pointy part of the board up here. We're going to take our shirt and lay the back of it onto the ironing board. So once you do that, it'll spread your shirt out, and as you can see, your shirt is spread out, and you will have a clean surface to make sure that you're not ironing creases into your shirt. So after you've done that, you take your iron and you're going to just firmly press it down on top of your shirt and move it in circles. Do not keep it in one spot because it will burn your shirt, and then you will need a new one because you'll see there'll be light brown burn marks, and you don't want that. So, as you do it, grab the corners of your shirt and just pull them lightly outwards to make sure that your surface is flat. And just after a couple of circles, my whole back used to be wrinkled, and now it's nice, flush, and clean. So, to do the sides of the shirt, with the breast pocket and the sides of the shirt that get tucked into your sides, what you're going to do is going to take your shirt, drape it over, take the side of the shirt, and just drape it over the ironing board. So you have half the shirt that is hanging off the ironing board, and you have one half with the breast pocket and the sleeve on the board. So after you do that, make sure you just stretch it out till it's nice and flat. And at that point, you can just take your iron, and just once again, firmly press it down on the ironing board and move it around in circles. Make sure not to keep it in one place. Just keep moving it slowly but firmly all around your shirt. Make sure to get all the little nicks and creases inside your shirt. So after that, you have one side done. Take the shirt. You're going to do the same thing. Flip it over onto the other side. Hang the one half on that side. Bring the half on the top of the ironing board just like this. So now you have this half hanging off, and you have this half on. Once again, you're going to take your iron, and you're going to firmly, not too hard, just do little circles all around. The buttons are a little bit harder. A good trick is to go, rather than going straight up, go across in between each button. So I go like this, stretch out the shirt a bit, I go up, in between, and don't be scared to let the iron touch the buttons. They won't melt. I'm pretty sure they're pretty solid. I haven't had any of my buttons melt yet. Next, we have the arm section. So you have a crease on the top. So for the creases, if you want a sharp crease, you need to use water. So you have two ways of getting water on your arms. You can either have an iron that has the spraying button. So you have, if you look at the top here, there's going to be a little spray button right there, this button here. When you click it, water sprays out. You can spray down your thing, or if you don't have an iron that has the spraying capabilities, you can just take a little water bottle and put a little bit of water on your on the sleeves. So when doing the sleeves, what you want to do is you want to have the crease in between the center of your rank. So it should be basically lining up with the D in cadet. So on your epaulettes, if you look, my crease is lined up with the D on the cadets. and you really want to get that firm crease in there. So what you want to do is you're going to take your sleeve, take your shirt, be very gentle. You don't want to wrinkle the stuff you just ironed. You're going to put the sleeve down. You're going to make sure it's folded. You're going to take your iron, spray down the crease. Not too much water, but make sure it's enough so it's a bit damp. And then you're just going to slowly iron your crease into there. And in this process, you're also going to iron out the rest of the sleeve to make sure your sleeve is nice and smooth with no wrinkles. You'll iron in your crease, go down to where the armpit is. After that, you take it out, check your sides, and one way to know if your crease is really good, you take your sleeve, fold it out, and now you can see that there's a permanent, crisp crease that goes right and lines up with the D. So, after you have that, you have your back, your two sides done. You have the next crease over here. Same thing. You take it, you fold it, and you put it down. So, while we repeat the process, just a little tip. A lot of people think that ironing is a chore and it's super boring. But it's honestly as fun as you make it. So, a really good way to get excited for ironing or to really get in the mood to iron is to do something that you like. So, put on the radio or put on a movie or even just listen to your favorite music, your favorite songs while you iron, and it'll make it less of a chore and a little bit more of a time of relaxation. Once again, pick your sleeve up, check the sides. I don't see any wrinkles. Take your sleeve, spread it out, crisp crease going right up and lines up with the D in cadet. Goes straight down. That's a good crease. Then, after that, I take my collar, fold it out, lay it down on the ironing board, take my iron, spray down the collar, and just iron down my collar. Switch over your collar. If you've been ironing your creases a lot and they're not really getting any better, washing your creases is a really good way to almost reset and restart and start with stronger creases. So, after you've ironed your collar, just flip it back down. Your collar is now crisp. You got your front. Your back is now crisp. Your two sleeves are now ironed with creases both lining up with the center D. Both your front sides are ironed. In between is both ironed. Your whole shirt is now finished. Next, we have the pants. So the pants are a little bit more difficult, but it's also a simpler process. So you don't have as many nicks and corners to get through. The pants are just a straight way to get a crease in, and that's all you need. But the main thing you want to know for pants is that you need a crease that lines up in between the two front belt loops. So this belt loop and this belt loop and your button. So there should be a crease in between here all the way straight down your pant leg. And a crease between here and all the way straight down your pant leg. So to get a good way to iron your pants is that you can either just, it depends on the size of the pants, you can either just take the pants and fold them like this and lay them out on the ironing board. Or if your pants are a little bit smaller, my pants are a little bit smaller, you can fold them and put the two belt loops together like this. Button goes inwards, two belt loops like this. Fold in this piece here. And then you put it on the ironing board. If I want to iron the left pant leg first, I'm going to put the left pant leg down under the right pant leg. You take your left pant leg, bring it all the way up, just drape it down, and what you're going to do is you're going to stretch out your pant leg. You're going to take this part here at the top and flip it upwards. Now you have the whole front side of the pant leg exposed. You're going to take your iron and spray down the front of the pant leg, just the edge. Make sure you get all the way up to the belt loop. Don't stop when it gets to the button. Make sure you get all the way up. After that, start in the center, iron straight down, but keep it moving. What happens with pants is that if you leave it in one spot too long, it can either burn or it can crease the pants. And whenever you burn, to know your pants are burnt is when they're shiny. So if you have shiny pants, it means you either held the iron in place too long or your iron is too hot. A recommended heat for the iron would be in between the wool and the linen on the dial. That's the perfect heat for your pants. So after you've finished your first pant leg, you just do a quick little through the center. you go and you switch sides. For this sake, we can just take the pant leg like this, bring the pant leg back up, like that, and you do the same thing, flip up the back, just like that, spray it down, and then you'd iron from the center out, go back up, all the way up, make sure you get all the way up into the belt loop. Your back creases should go all the way up to the center belt loop in your back. So after you get a nice firm crease on your back belt loop, just watch your fingers when you bring it up here, it gets nice and hot. After you're done that, you take your left pant leg, bring it down. You can take your pants just like this and flip them down to the other side. Right after you've ironed that, you take your pant leg, do the same thing. This is the pant leg you just ironed. Drape it down just like that so you don't fold it, you don't crease it. You take it like that, do the same thing. So another tip for your pants while we're doing the same thing. A lot of people think that it's a one and done kind of deal. Truly, to get really sharp pant creases in your pants, it's taking a lot of time to build up that crease. It's not just to iron once and you have the sharpest creases of all. It's a iron once or twice a week for at least a month, and you'll start to get really good pants. And at the same time, you can iron your pants multiple times a day. Just be careful on how much you do it, because it does strip the color, and then your pants start to look a bit faded. So after we've gotten our crease all the way up the back of the pant, we can do the same thing as last time. Take the back and the front, switch them, this side and this side, flip this piece up, spray it down again, go center up. So when you do finish ironing, make sure to always put the creases and check the creases before you iron to make sure you don't double crease. So if you double crease, you'll get something called train tracks, which will show you having 2 lines down the center of your pants rather than just one. You only want to have 1 crease going down the center and the back pant up to your pant loop. If you have 2, you will have to take it, spray it down completely, and iron 1 solid crease into it. So after we've been ironing our pants, you can see the creases go all the way down and all the way up in between our 2 loops. And if we look in the back, we have 2 solid creases going up to the rear belt loop and going all the way down the pant legs too. And you can see that there's no wrinkles on your pants, no wrinkles on the insides either. They're nice and crisp. That's for the pants and the shirt. So thank you very much for watching my video on how to iron your pants and your shirt, and you have a great day. Thank you.